All right, it is 1:30. We'll call this meeting to order. The Oklahoma County Planning Commission, room 204, 1:30, August 15, 2024. Notice of meeting was posted on August 9, 2024. Call to order. Roll call, Eric?
Yes, the members of the Planning Commission are Mr. Rob Murray,
Yes.
Mr. Charles DeFuria, Mr. Rob Talbot,
Here.
Ms. Denise Patterson, Mr. Greg Davidson,
Here.
and sitting in for Commissioner Davidson is Mr. Colton Murphy.
Here. Okay, we have a quorum. Item number 4, approval of minutes of previous meeting, the July 18th meeting. Everybody got a copy? Then there any changes? If not, I will entertain a motion to approve the minutes.
Motion approved.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. DeFuria,
Abstain.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Ms. Patterson,
Yes.
Mr. Davidson,
Yes.
and Mr. Murphy.
Yes. Item number 5, item was deferred by the Planning Commission on July 18th meeting is our annual elections of officers. We have the chair and vice chair. We will start by taking nominations for the chair seat.
I nominate Rob Talbot.
Second.
Any other nominations? Seeing and hearing none, we'll have a roll call, Eric?
Mr. Murray,
Yes.
Mr. DeFuria,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Sure.
Ms. Patterson,
Yes.
Mr. Davidson,
Yes.
and Mr. Murphy.
Yes. Okay, that leads us to the second part of item 5 is the nomination of a vice chair. Do we have any nominations?
I nominate Denise Patterson.
I second. Any other nominations? Hearing and seeing none, roll call, Eric?
Mr. Murray, Mr. DeFuria,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Ms. Patterson,
Yes.
Mr. Davidson,
Yes.
and Mr. Murphy.
Yes. Okay, so our officers are elected. All right, item number 6. This item was deferred by the Planning Commission at the request of the applicant on July 18th. Planning Commission meeting, and Eric, discussion and possible action to approve/deny general plat of Douglas Hills, GP 2024-08.
Yes, so just to give you an update on this particular item, had to do with the item that was on the previous agenda, which was the rezoning of this property. So that item was heard by the Board of County Commissioners yesterday. There was quite a bit of discussion at the meeting, and it was ultimately approved, but those lots, instead of being half acre, are going to be 1 acre lots. So with that approval, there are some other steps they'll have to follow as well as far as getting us an updated PUD and whatnot. But with that being said, they would like to defer this item so they can modify the initial design that you see in front of you to meet the requirements that were approved by the Board of County Commissioners yesterday.
Anybody have any questions for Eric? We are not required to hear from the public at this point since we're deferring it, correct?
You don't have to. They do have a representative here to speak on the item if you have any questions of them.
Does anybody have any questions? Then I'll entertain a motion to defer this item to the August meeting,
September
So moved.
September the 19th.
Second.
Roll call, Eric?
Mr. Murray, Mr. DeFuria,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Ms. Patterson,
Yes.
Mr. Davidson,
Yes.
and Mr. Murphy.
Yes. Item number 6 is deferred till September 19th. Item number 7, discussion and possible action to approve/deny the final plat of the Reserve FP 2024-06. Eric?
This is the development that has been occurring on Northeast 63rd and north of Northeast 63rd on the east side of Harrow Road in District 2. They've been working on this project for probably the last 6 months, give or take. They've been working with the county as far as doing inspections. Where we are in the project at this point in time, we've done some testing on the subgrade. There were some changes that the District 2 road superintendent requested. Those have been done and completed. So since the subdivision is not done at this point in time, we've gotten with the engineer for the developer and the developer to let them know that we're going to request a deferment until the September 19th meeting. I know their representative is here to speak on that if you have any particular questions of them.
And they have no issue with the deferment?
No, they understand. I mean, the road hadn't been built as of yet, so we'd like to go back and look at the test results and everything before we start signing plats and filing.
Anybody have any questions that they would like to ask? Okay, hearing and seeing none, I would entertain a motion.
Before you do that, I think there's maybe some individuals here that want to speak on this particular item.
Okay, and just so you understand, speaking today, if this gets deferred, you're still gonna have to come back and speak again. Okay. So with that said, is there anybody here who'd like to talk and talk about this item number 8? If you could state your name and address, please.
Oh, sorry, I might get a little emotional.
Okay.
My name is Jackie Weir Connor. I live at 6195 North Harrow Road. I live just to the southwest of the proposed property. I was able to send an email to Eric last night. We were not notified of the plat, so we're a little late to the party. I know that development is going to happen, change is going to happen. Change is good, progress is good, but we have to have the right kind of stewardship of that change. Oklahoma is a state full of lots of natural wonder. It's a beautiful area where lots of wildlife live. We love seeing the deer and everything. We have deer that have chosen our property to bed down on and to raise babies on. I would ask that the proposal for these small lots be altered to fit with the larger lots asked. I know that on our property it's required a 2-acre minimum. This plat was bought at $250,000, which for 7 homes comes out to about $36,000 for a plot. These homes, while being very good homes, he's a good developer. I don't question his quality of build. But these homes tend to sell for about $400,000 or more. Smaller homes over $300,000. So a $36,000 plot versus a 16 or smaller seems reasonable to make these lots larger, to fit the landscape, to fit what has already been honored there. We have a daughter who will be a year old next month, and we want her to be able to enjoy nature and teach her good stewardship and what it means to be part of the land and not just owners of it. So I ask you to please keep that in mind for future generations. We need the trees, we need the scrub, we need the loblolly pines and everything else that grows here. So please, while progress needs to happen, if we could just have good stewardship of that responsibility, that's what I would ask you. Thank you.
Does anybody else like to make a statement? Again, if you can state your name and address, please.
My name is Pamela Migliaccio. I'm a nurse practitioner, urgent care provider for SSM Health. I live at on Northeast 63rd Street at 21400 Northeast 63rd Street, which is directly south of where this development is due to happen. I started working for out in Hera almost 3 years ago. I worked out there for 9 months and fell in love with the environment and fell in love with the community. It took me a year to find a property that had enough land and had a house that would encompass some of the same things that this woman stood up and talked about. And then I was able to close on it a year ago. I was lucky. I was looking for 5 acres. I lucked out and I got 8 acres. And I love every piece of the land that I have. I have deer, I have goats, and I have lots of other animals that are on it that we enjoy. I don't have, I raised 5 children in Oklahoma City, and it was a battle. Hera has increased in population over the last 10 years, 22+%. Their school districts are at 19-to-1 ratio, and putting a plat like this, and there are multiple areas that have plats like this that are going up, is only going to make the schools more crowded. And right now they're at a good ratio. I would beg that you guys consider either making those areas, those homes on bigger plats of land, and keeping them, keeping the area more conducive to the environment. It just breaks my heart to see all the work that's been done when something hasn't even been improved yet. But I love the area, and it's a beautiful area, and that's why I moved out there. So, thank you.
Okay, ma'am?
So, so you say your property is off of Northeast 63rd. So does your property butt up against this development?
It's actually, I'm on the south side of 63rd. So no, it does not butt up against it. It is
Okay.
across, it's across 63rd, and this development is,
Oh, you were on the south side of 63rd?
yes, sir, I
Okay,
am.
all right,
And I am just east of Hera Road.
okay,
So,
all right, thank you.
you're welcome.
Anybody else? You said the developers were here? Would you like to make a statement or say anything?
Good afternoon. Austin Ham, 522 Cold Court Drive, here for the applicant. We agree the construction isn't done, so we're agreeable to the deferral to next month's meeting, and that's all we have at this time.
Okay.
Thank you all.
Anybody else? Hearing and seeing none, and Eric, just to clarify, this is a deferment that the county is asking for, not the applicant.
Well, combination, yes, we are asking for it, but they're agreeing with it as well.
Okay, with that said, I'll entertain a motion to accept or deny the request for deferment.
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Murray, Mr. DeFuria,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Ms. Patterson, Mr. Davidson,
Yes.
and Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
So item is deferred to September 19th. Item number 8, discussion and possible action to approve/deny the general plot of the Bellagio Phase 2 GP 2024-11. Eric?
So you may recall this development, this was on the planning commission, probably back towards March, April timeframe. At that point in time, they were trying to develop this piece of property here, but also further north in the east. And there was some concern about that northeast part due to the floodplain that's there in the area. So they've gone back, they've eliminated that piece at this time. And so they're just doing the piece that you see there in front of you, which is on the southwest part of the current development. This subdivision, just for the folks that don't know, is at Northwest 220th Meridian on the southeast corner of that subdivision there, or intersection, excuse me. And so this development, as you can see, most of the lots are 6/10 of an acre or larger. The only thing just to keep in mind with this section compared to the other sections, we did receive a letter from the city of Oklahoma City stating that they were not going to serve these lots at this time because their sewer treatment plant in the area is at capacity. So these lots are going to be on, I would assume, Deer Creek water, but also aerobic septic type of systems. My assumption, and I'm assuming the applicant can clarify this, but my assumption would be whenever there's capacity that's added to that plant, that these folks at whatever particular time could always attach to that. Besides that, like I said, it's just a continuation of what is out there. That's all that I had, unless you had any particular questions of me.
So just to clarify that last statement, if they go to aerobic now, and then somewhere down the road, the Oklahoma City opens it up, the homeowner would have to put the pipes in?
Right, it would be up to the homeowner at that point in time to hook into that. Now, I will say, I don't know what the intent of the developer is, if they're gonna bring some lines in that during the development of this. I'll let them speak to that. Obviously, they know more about that than I do. But there is that potential there just because the lots that are already existing tie into the city of Oklahoma City, their sewer treatment plant. There's actually a lift station that was put in along 192nd, or no, excuse me, 206, that was put in when this development was built for that intent, for this subdivision.
Does anybody have any questions for Eric?
Yeah, so you talked to the city of Oklahoma City, and they said there's no plans right now, but do they have like maybe future plans?
So the city of Oklahoma City sent me a letter specifically specifying that their sewer treatment plant is at capacity. So whenever they go back, and from my understanding, having a brief conversation with them, that plant would probably be upgraded within the next 5 to 6 years. So once that plant is upgraded, then there is a potential for other, this subdivision, but other areas out in the unincorporated area to be served by that plant. But at this point in time, they are not allowing anybody to connect to that plant.
Okay, so these lots, even some of the smaller ones, would have to have the aerobic for the next 5 or 6 years.
Right, right. So they're gonna be, I would assume they're still gonna be on Deer Creek water. Like I said, those existing lots are on Deer Creek water now. So I would assume that would be a continuation of Deer Creek water to that portion of the development. So if you have access to public water, in this case Deer Creek water, you can use aerobic type of systems. Or some of these larger lots that you have on the east side, you may be able to do traditional septic.
Okay.
Eric, are any of these in the floodplain?
No, the floodplain is a little just up against these lots to some degree, just south. There is a creek that goes through there, but none of those lots are in the floodplain.
Other questions for Eric? Is there anyone here who'd like to talk in favor of this project? If you could state your name and
Good afternoon, Jake Hunter with Johnson Associates, 1 East Sheridan Ave. Just to speak to the sanitary sewer comment that you guys had, there's currently the system in place, manholes, sewer through there. They just can't currently tap into it. So should that be available, the capacity in the future, they can do that.
I may be confusing things, but I think in one of the previous stages, there was talk about a playground or an area. Is that part of this, or was that part of the other one?
That was part of the northeast phase.
Okay. Anybody have any questions?
Yeah, are you guys running any sewer lines at all?
The sewer for this phase, it's already there, but currently it's going to have to be an aerobic system.
There's lines to serve these new houses.
Correct. This was installed prior. The lift station was put in before this, and then they were told that they.
So if and when Oklahoma City upgrades their wastewater treatment plant, all these homeowners have to do is run a line to the road?
Yeah, there's private, or they would just have to do their private tap in the future.
Okay.
Any other questions?
So you've already got, there's already manholes back here in the new lot.
I don't think so.
And that was your,
That's what I'm asking.
Yeah.
Correct. So for this, on the south side, there's already sewer put in place. They just are not allowed to tap it.
But for each of these 22 lots,
Correct.
right? They've
Correct.
got manholes that are closed, but each individual lot is gonna be able just to run and tap into, or is that manhole would have to be brought into this?
It's already available to, it's within an easement already, I believe, so.
So the
It's
pipe-
available
the-
for
the pipe
future,
is The pipe is laid to every one of these house lots. We just can't tap into them today.
Correct, a main is there.
Do you have a drawing showing that?
Yes, sir. It's hard to see, but there's sewer.
It's along the backside of the property line.
So what about these interior lots? See?
Yeah.
What about the interior lots? So. What about, you've got a sewer line that's running here. What about these interior lots? Where are they set up for?
This line's already here for these houses.
So you want that these, so you can get to those from here, right? And those from there, from that sewer.
These three guys can't.
Those three guys.
They're gonna have to do something. They're gonna, is that an easement there? They can, maybe they can go there.
I just take to, you know, and then they say that the sewer tap's already in place, you know, they get already tapped into the city, and then we don't, and then we're having to trench some easements, building costs, each one will go on the street to get to it,
Mm-hmm.
over the lift station to the manhole. Just not
And this may never happen.
Did you pass that?
Oklahoma City may never leave.
So where's this main line?
Oh, okay.
So like where the lines would be, okay, all right.
Sir, are all these houses in phase one? Are they all hooked up to city sewer?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
All right, so what about the DEQ as far as the aerobic systems? How much land is required?
Pretty much a half acre.
When you have access to public water, which they do with Deer Creek Water, you have to have a half acre is the minimum
For aerobic.
for
system?
aerobic system.
Okay.
So
And
like I said,
these are they're all more than a half.
the smallest lot is 6/10 of an acre.
Thank you.
Is there anybody here else who'd like to talk in favor of this project? Is there anyone here who would like to talk against this project? Hearing and seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve/deny item number 8.
Move approval?
A second. Roll call, Eric?
Mr. Murray. Mr. DeFuria.
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Ms. Patterson,
Yes.
Mr. Davidson,
I'm gonna abstain.
Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
Okay, item number 8 is approved. Item number 9, discussion and possible action to approve / deny the general plat of Duncan Hill GP 2024-10. Eric?
So this particular plat, you'll notice there that it consists of 4 lots. We were looking at approximately 9.5 acres, give or take. And so obviously this is just a basic plat. All of these lots are gonna access either Peebly Road or Reno Avenue. From my understanding, in this particular case, the property owner is just splitting the property up into what you see before you, just for family members to have in the future. So number 9 is the general plat, and number 10 is associated with that, and it's the final plat.
Awesome. So we'll entertain discussion for 9 and 10 then.
The applicant is here if you do have any questions of him.
Anybody have any questions for the applicant? Does anybody here like to talk against this project? Hearing and seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve / deny item number 9 first.
I'll move approval.
Roll call?
Mr. Murray, Mr. DeFuria,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Ms. Patterson,
Yes.
Mr. Davidson,
Yes.
Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
Item 9 approved. Now I'll entertain a motion to approve / deny item number 10.
I'll move approval.
Second? Roll call, Eric?
Mr. Murray, Mr. DeFuria,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Ms. Patterson, Mr. Davidson,
Yes.
and Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
Item 10 approved. Item number 11, discussion and possible action to approve / deny the general plat of Cardinal Acres GP 2024-12. Eric?
So item 11 and 12 are companion items.
Okay, so we'll entertain discussion for both of those.
Yes, the general plat is just basic drawing. Obviously, the final plat is what the Planning Commission and the Board of County Commissioners sign off on. This piece of property is off of Southeast 29th, east of Henny Road on the north side of Southeast 29th. The amount of property there is approximately 7.75 acres, a little bit less than that. So what you see there is there's a house on the smaller lot, which is approximately 2 acres, and the remainder of the property is on the larger lot that is adjacent to it to the east. So approximately 3/4 of an acre. From my understanding, they're just wanting to split this property off. All of this is currently zoned R2. With our current process, when you're creating a lot that is smaller than 5 acres, through a lot split, this is technically a lot split, if you will, you have to go through the planning process. And so that's why we're here today. So like I said, all this right now is R2 with the property that's adjacent to this to the west. Maybe there could be some future development. That property there to the west is zone industrial. There's a storage facility that's been constructed. That's phase 1 that you see. And then as you go back north, there's going to be future phases that will appear. So obviously with industrial next to a piece of property, I assume this piece of property would lend itself to commercial or industrial maybe at some point in the future. So that's what they're asking for. If you have any questions of me, I'll be more than happy to answer those. The applicant is here as well if you have any questions of them.
So 2 kids, 1 favorite and 1 non-favorite?
Well, that I don't know.
Does anybody have any questions of the applicant? Is there anybody here who'd like to talk against this project?
So I just had, hold on one second.
Oh.
Did you see what I'm talking about? Who is this? That makes sense.
Okay, excuse me. I just had a couple of questions. Go ahead. I just wanted to make sure there was no issue with the final plat.
Okay. And just to
I got a question. It's still gonna be R2.
Yes, zoning has not changed.
Okay.
But my assumption would be if you're taking a section of this lot off, in my mind, it lends itself to possibly future commercial if somebody wants to take that on.
Just to re-ask for the record, is anyone here who wants to talk against this project? Hearing and seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to approve / deny item number 11.
Motion to approve.
Roll call?
Mr. Murray, Mr. DeFuria,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Ms. Patterson, Mr. Davidson,
Yes.
and Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
Okay, now I'll entertain a motion to approve / deny item number 12.
Motion to approve.
Roll call?
Mr. Murray, Mr. DeFuria,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Ms. Patterson, Mr. Davidson,
Yes.
and Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
All right, for the important stuff. Item number 13, discussion of possible action to receive the fee fund report. Eric?
So we are in a new fiscal year, so it's hard to say if we're really up or down. I mean, we are up, but we're in the first month of the new fiscal year, so take that for what it's worth. By the end of the year, we may be severely down. I don't know. But as of now, we are in the positive.
Come on now, can be optimistic there, Eric.
Well,
Yeah, I know.
I will say we're up mostly for just registration. So we register contractors as far as plumbers, heat and air, electricians this time of the year. So that's the majority of why we're up.
Oh, that was a great political answer. Well, we're up, but we could be down, so don't get too excited.
Yeah, I'm just trying to prepare you.
All right, I'll entertain a motion to receive the fee fund report.
Motion to receive.
Second.
Roll call, Eric?
Mr. Murray, Mr. DeFuria,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Ms. Patterson, Mr. Davidson,
Yes.
and Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
All right, item number 14, new business. In accordance with the Opens Meeting Act, section 311.9, new business is defined as any matter not known about or which could not have been reasonably foreseen prior to the time of the posting of the agenda. Any new business, Eric?
No, sir.
All right, with that said, entertain a motion for adjournment.
Motion to adjourn.
Eric?
Mr. Murray, Mr. DeFuria,
Yes.
Mr. Talbot,
Yes.
Ms. Patterson, Mr. Davidson,
Yes.
and Mr. Murphy.
Yes.
We need to get here more often.
I know.
I mean.